Warning, the Spoilercast does contain spoilers of current and past movies, books, video, games, TV shows, and possibly your life. So if you're listening to a show called Spoilercast and you're pissed off that we gave away spoilers, we really don't care. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.
Hey, Roper from All Tower Media, back with Spoilercast. We haven't been on the air in weeks. Weeks, right, Dire Monkey?
Something like that.
Something like that. It's been a little while. We were trying to get in for with Adam to do the Winchester. We were going to discuss that, and then that fell through. And then we were going to get in and we were going to do Black Panther, and that fell through. And I've gone and seen like tons of movies since then. So we're just kind of going to do an update kind of thing where we're all just kind of like sitting around talking about stuff, just wide scooping variety of things. I got Dire Monkey sitting over here, Master Control. How are you doing?
Good. I ain't seen shit.
You ain't seen shit. That's all right. I got Mr. Justin sitting over here. Haven't seen you in a while.
Guten Tag.
Very, very much so. And have you seen some movies here recently?
I've seen a couple. It's funny though, coming off the top of my head, I have a hard time thinking of the various ones I have seen. Yeah. Though Black Panthers is one of the ones I've seen.
Good.
It was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I liked it. It could have been better, but you know.
You think so?
Yeah.
We'll get to that. And then over here we got a new person, finally capable of joining us. So now you have to understand something here, and I haven't formally introduced you to who this is. We've been sitting here kind of chatting, but I haven't been like, hey, this, and this is this. I explained to him that the big glorious beard is Dire Monkey, and I explained to him Mr. Spiky here that looks like a Marine is a Marine, and that's Mr. Justin. And so he was pre-equipped with this information because I thought you all would be out in the parking lot. You weren't, which is fine, but he was sitting out there, and his, I'm assuming, girlfriend, antisocial girlfriend.
I actually saw him drive by.
His antisocial girlfriend.
They just kept on driving, like stared at me creepily. I was like, okay,
well, it's because he didn't know it was this location.
Was it a white truck?
Do what?
Was it a white truck?
No, I was in the Jeep.
Okay.
I drove right by it. Like I saw you.
Yeah.
And I just kept driving because I didn't know that was the building.
I've still successfully not managed to introduce him.
I'm not terribly concerned.
Over where I work, he worked with me for a short period of time, and there is some debate on how to say his first name. See, I say it the way I believe it's supposed to be said, and everybody else says it in a different fashion. Now, the way it's spelled is Pavel, correct?
Correct.
How do you say that?
Pavel?
That's what I said. How do you say it?
Pavel.
Okay. How does everyone else say it?
Well, it depends on what variation you want.
Okay.
I usually get anything from Pavel to Pivel to anything.
And the other option that I typically get is Pavel. Everyone calls him Pavel.
Yeah.
Lots of people were calling him Pavel. And I go, okay, look at the letters that are in his name. And
He's in this country is very hard. It's not. I mean, it's difficult name to pronounce. We cannot do it. In the Soviet, it's not hard.
P-A
in Soviet
sounds,
Russia, name pronounce you.
Correct.
P-A is pa. It's pa. And then P-A-V-E is pave. Pavel.
Well,
Pavel.
In just about every other language, A's are pronounced as ah.
Weird.
E's are pronounced as a.
See, but if it was P-I, then I could see pie, right?
P-E-I, P-I-E,
yeah,
whatever.
P-I,
Some
P-I-E,
variation of that.
Yeah, it's usually like my one thing is I always tell people, I'm like, there's no variation of my name that you can tell me that I've never heard before.
Frank.
You know,
Frank.
You ever been called Frank? That's fair.
I have deemed you Steve.
Do not put that past Dire Monkey. He will name you something and it will stick forever.
No, I mean like no, it's not like calling me a different name.
Hi Frank. Hi Sam.
I mean like sticking with the letters in my name.
How do you know that he's not pronouncing it I mean, in your own words, name him.
Okay.
Based off of the letters in his name. They're all silent. That's what it is.
Paul.
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 Hello,
Paul.
There you go.
Paul.
So
The V is silent.
Have you seen any movies recently?
I've seen a few.
Yeah?
I finally watched It.
Oh yeah, what'd you think of
that?
I don't clown.
I mean, that was
clowns.
I don't have a thing against clowns.
I do. I actively do, and I went and saw that movie in the theater.
At one point, I wanted to trap him in his apartment And the only thing that stopped me was I couldn't find a life-size Pennywise to put in front of his doorway.
I'd kill it. I had people act.
See, I always think of you remember those boss or whatever they were, giant football players you can stick on the wall.
Oh yeah.
If you can get one of those,
no,
fat heads. If you can just get one of Pennywise,
call
them, custom order that.
See, you have to understand something. I had people when I was working patrol. They were like, "Well, what would you do if you went to a call and there was a clown?" I go, "Well, it's obvious I'd kill it." And they're like,
10-8.
"You can't do that." And I'm like, "I'd be doing everyone a favor."
Remember, Spangle the Clown used to hang out at Swallowing
I know.
Cocks.
Oh my god.
Swallowing Cocks with Spangle the Clown.
We had a guy. His name was Spangle. Middle initial T Tom, but it's his actual name.
He legally changed it.
Spangle the Clown.
Nuh-uh.
Did you know he had restraint? Never mind. Anyway, we have.
He had some fun stuff in the trunk.
He used to live over at the intersection of Swallowing Cocks.
There is literally an intersection here in town of Swallowing Cocks.
That's literally the greatest thing I've ever heard.
That is exact, and we'd stop cars there all the time.
My
number was 612, so I'd be like 612. I'll be out Swallowing Cocks, clear 612 Swallowing Cocks, and it's COX. But it is Swallow. It's Swallow like normal. But
Did you imagine calling for backup from that location?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. We've done it.
I do know.
Yeah, we've done it.
Yes, I can imagine.
Listen, just fine. We've done that. We called that Friday night. Yeah.
I'm going to need...
there you go.
I'm going to need additional units.
Now, what you have to understand something, that the farm road out there is 141.
But it's not farm road at that point.
Look right there on the map. See it? Where the intersection is, it is Swallow and Cox.
Oh, shit.
Not 141. Okay?
That's amazing.
This right here... That's the dividing line between 141. So it's definitely Swallow and Cox. Okay?
That's fantastic.
Also, if you go north of there, it's Republican Cox. And
which is
it's almost as funny.
It's almost as funny. The problem with that is fewer people understand the joke of it.
That's fair.
But now when you find people out on foot in the area, it's the best, because we had one of the guys. He found he had two black guys that were walking around over there, and it just happened to be what it was. He's like, "I'll be out, two black males swallowing cocks," and so it just sounds impressive, right? And
you're just wait.
As soon as you'd make that stop, or as soon as you do anything there, your computer would blow up with everybody and their brother sending you messages going, "Oh, that's hilarious!" Except for command staff that was like, "Stop it!" It's like, listen, I'm not a city planner. I didn't design this. This isn't my fault. I mean, we have cocksucker days around here, for God's sake. All right,
that's great.
Have you ever seen the cocksucker days?
Sucker days.
Yeah, but have you seen the Cox Sucker Days?
Yeah.
It's not just Sucker Days.
Right, yeah.
It's just
that's special.
It's Cocksucker Days.
It's a special event after midnight.
No. Nothing good happens after midnight. My grandma told me. Oh, man.
Well, you just got to park 2 blocks away.
Tap each other underneath the stalls, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a secret code word. Just 3 knocks and a phrase.
Knock and scratch, according to Bert Kreitzer. I love his stuff.
Oh, God.
Though it's usually a dead giveaway when you walk in wearing patent leather or anything.
I mean...
Just remember my safe word is pineapple juice.
That's the greatest. That is the greatest video I'd ever watched. It's just... every strong man got a soft side.
What is happening? See, this is what happens when I come in here with no specific topic. We just start talking.
But no, you asked movies.
Yeah. Have you seen? Did you see The Winchester?
No, I did not.
Do you know what that one is? Mm-mm. Okay, so I got to tell a story before you get to your movie. Okay, so I go over to the Alamo Draft House on a basically nightly basis. I'm over there like 4 or 5 times.
Is it good?
A week. Oh, it's the best.
I've read a lot of reviews, and like half the people are like, "This place sucks," and the rest are like, "It's the greatest thing ever."
Welcome to 2018.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's the welcome to the internet.
Yeah,
no, it's pretty cool. The only thing I do prefer is because one of the other theaters that does the same thing, the one a little south of here.
Yeah, B&B.
B&B. I like the fact that they have the button you can push, because I feel like that gets you better responses.
True.
Than the other one where you just put up a piece of paper and you got to hope that they notice it when they walk by. And
I'll grant you.
blocks your view.
Yeah, partly. Yeah, and I'll grant you that. I'll grant you that.
Aside from that,
and the tables don't move, so you got to lean up and over.
Yes, there's that too. I forgot about that.
All right. Well,
but it's nice. I'm not bagging on it.
Alamo's my favorite. I love it. So
well, it's only because it's close. I mean,
that's
just so far away.
That too.
And that's just the thing is I was planning on going there.
Oh yeah, man. I'm there all the time.
Kind of looking into it because like I said, I'd seen a lot of people who were just like, no, this place is don't go there.
What would be the reasons for not going there?
They run their mouth, and then you get somebody like me that writes on the card and says, "Go over there and talk to these morons and get them kicked out."
I do that.
That's
the thing. Is
I do that.
Like over half of them are just like, yeah, the service was terrible, and I'm like, well, what did you?
I've never had an issue.
What are you expecting? I mean, I don't.
I've never once had a problem.
I've not had any issues when I went. I like that. I like the.
That's what my thing was. I was just like, I mean, are you expecting like butler service to where they're literally standing by your seat?
It's not the Four Seasons fucktards.
Yeah, exactly. You're at a movie theater.
Exactly. Like, you go there for the movie.
I
it's
get
just
there.
A bonus.
I get there early and I order all my food and such. All right. So typically, what I do is I go in, I park my ass. I try to get one of the back. I'm a top back row kind of guy. Okay. Whenever I got tickets for the Winchester, though, I didn't get the opportunity to actually do that. So I was actually 2 rows from the bar. You know what I'm talking about? That handicap row that goes across the front.
Yeah, I've looked at this.
So I'm like 2 rows back, 3 rows back, something like that.
Okay.
All the way to the if you're facing the screen, all the way to the left. So I'm all the way to the end, and there's 3 seats next to me. And I'm sitting here, I'm by myself, and I don't have anybody else with me as far as like with me. And some guy shows up, and he's doing like this like super meth walk, right? And he's got 2 girls with him, and he sits down next to me, and he's got the 2 girls. They're on the end cap, and he starts arguing with them, and he's like, "I want to sit on the end." And they're like, "I don't want to." And he finally coaxes one of them into swapping with him. And so he pops up and sits over there, and for whatever reason decides that he needs to drag me into this situation. He's like, "Besides, that guy over there, he'd rather have some hot chick sitting next to him than me sitting next to him." And I lean forward and I go, "Well, actually, I feel like you broke up with me just now, and I don't really know what I did wrong." And I love it. And so now he's staring at me like I've kicked his puppy or something. And I was like, of course, he gets
he sold that for some meth.
Yeah, he did.
I felt like this was meant to be, and you just shattered my hopes.
Yeah, I'm
and
like,
dreams.
I don't know what I did wrong, but I mean, I'm sorry. Come back,
baby, come
Hold
back.
my hand. I'm scared. But the girls are laughing now, so that's good. And so they're sitting over here, and I pick up based off their. I'm not paying attention to them. I'm eating my food. I'm eating my fried pickles, and I'm drinking my Dr. Pepper, and I'm watching the previews. And I'm paying attention to that, not really them, but I'm paying enough attention to them to pick up that they're sisters with this guy. All right. Mm-hmm. And as they're having this conversation, I start to gather that they have actually been to the Winchester mansion, like the actual place. Cool. So now I'm quasi interested, right? So I'm half-assed listening to them, while watching the screen, which is there's over at Alamo, instead of doing like all previews, they do like, I don't know, random segments of like clips of different things, and in this case, they were doing documentaries on the Winchester. And all that good stuff. So it's super fascinating. And but then the movie starts, and they go from being like, ha ha ha, you guys are kind of fun to sit next to, hey, you remember going up those stairs? I totally remember that. And I'm over here like turning and looking at them, and they're like, sorry. And then they go back to what they're doing, and then they sit there for a little bit, and then after a little bit they start going, no, really, I remember going up that stairwell over there. I'm like, why do you sound like Satan? And
it's a side effect.
It is.
It's a side effect of going to the house.
It's spent 10 minutes there, got possessed.
It's the meth that apparently cooks your vocal cords. Anyhow, they towards the end of the movie, the girl that's sitting next to me falls asleep. Okay, and she's snoring, and so the movie's playing, and it's like the scary part, like the nails are like popping out of the walls, and the ghosts are roaming all over the place, and all the scary shit's supposed to be happening. And here she is over here. Yeah, I watched that. That's a hilarious video. I'm convinced I saw her today, actually.
That's a him, I think.
It's a girl. That is a she. Anyway, so I shouldn't assume gender. Anyway, so they
2018.
They as I'm sitting here and all the climax of the movie is coming, she's snoring going.
No, that's just extra sound effects from the movie.
And so her sister sitting in the middle is like giggling at the fact that her sister has fallen asleep, right?
You should like hold a cup of water like really close to her nose.
And suddenly, she wants a photograph of her sister asleep in the movie theater. So she sits up and snaps a picture of her. But she didn't get a good picture because it's too dark because you're in a movie theater. So she turns the flash on and takes another photograph. And all the while, so there's pictures of me on some person's phone, like half staring at them, like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, exactly. Like I would have been bad. Like
photobomb it.
And so
I would have made a sign.
I considered leaning over next to the sister and
like,
being
this is why people hate. Just get a Sharpie and a sign. Just like, this is why people hate you.
People hate you. So the end of the movie finally rolls around, and they as I'm sitting here, the movie's over. Darren Monkey, what do you got there?
It just reminded me of the look at this photograph.
Look at this photograph.
You just picture Roper in the back, like, what do you do?
Like, what the shit is this? Anyway, so I'm sitting here, I'm watching this happen, I'm watching the movie, I'm watching this unfold next to me. The end of the movie finally rolls around, credits roll, lights turn on, she slaps her sister, she does the classic, and she sits up. Oh, I'm sorry, did I fall asleep? And so they get up and they're like, hey, thanks for being really cool about it, not reporting us. So they leave, and I'm like walking out. And one of the staff members over there is like, so how'd you like the movie? Because we were talking beforehand. And I was like, aside from the people that took a fucking photo in the middle of they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, in the future, like, report them. And I'm like, no shit? Really? And he's like, yeah. You read it on the thing. I'm like, yeah, I know that's a thing. I'm saying no shit. But they were sitting right next to me, and it was the end of the damn movie. So there wasn't enough time for you to have come over, got the thing, got a manager, then come back and address them. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, that's true. But in the future, make sure you do this. The next 4 movies I went to, either to the left or right of me, because those are the only 2 options, obviously, as I'm sitting here in my normal spot in the very back of the movie theater, in the next 4 movies I went to, there was someone that was running their mouth. And every time I gave them the ample 5 minutes staring at the side of your melon, please glance my direction because I know you can feel me burning a hole into the side of your skull, so I can be like, shut up. No one looks. So I'm like, fuck it. And I write their name, I write the information down, I set it up there on the thing. The past 4 movies I've been to, someone has been talked to because they're running their fucking gums.
See, what you need is like
a hall monitor armband.
It's a sash.
No, listen.
No. What he needs
them from across the
what he needs is like a control board with everyone's seat. Like when they do that, like he hits the button and it just ejects them.
Well, no,
like literally, like just like through the.
No. Go Austin Powers. Go Dr. Evil. He pushes it and go into like a volcano.
The thing just the seat kicks straight back and you burst into flames.
That works too. Either or.
So the last couple of them, and I'm always like, the individual to my right is running their mouth. They've been talking the entire movie. Popcorn, please. And so I double down on what it is I'm doing here.
Well, that's efficiency.
It's what I
mean. It's efficiency. You have to be.
Why make 2?
And Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
And set it up there at the front. There you go. And then they bring me back my stacks, and then they come over there and they're like, we've had a complaint. If you get warned again, you will be ejected from the movie theater.
Ejected. I'm telling you.
No, all right. Well, that's part of their thing. It's the intro
Release
piece.
The catapult.
Like, seriously, in all seriousness, this auditorium is now a quiet zone. After one warning, you will be ejected from the movie theater without a refund. That's literally what it says.
And they should have the line from the movie, shut your hole, Wang Zhang.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so did you see Black Panther at Alamo?
AMC.
Oh, you missed out. So as I told you, they do this like pre-movie thing, okay? Mm-hmm. And typically what they do is they've got like this segment where it's like a quasi jokey thing about keeping quiet in the movie theater. Okay. And then it does an actual in all seriousness, this auditorium is now a quiet zone.
Which like it should be.
Right. So they do this like funny jokey thing. Well, they actually take what's the actor's name for Black Panther?
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. So here he is. He's on screen, and he's literally. I really wish you could find it. He's staring at the audience, and he was like I'm watching. And he's just like not even blinking, and he's just staring at the audience. And he's like, and then after a minute or two, all of a sudden he was like, I'm still watching. And he's like still doing it. The whole movie plays. At the end of the movie, as soon as it's over, he pops back on screen and he's like, I'm still watching.
Oh, God.
It's fantastic.
That's amazing. Like,
I love everything about it. It's fantastic. So
just talk. See what happens.
Black Panther. Excellent movie.
Yes.
What didn't you like about it?
I really feel like they could have... All right, so everyone played their part really, really well.
Oh, yeah.
The whole motivation for the main bad guy, just like everything seemed a bit shallow as far as like, well, I'm really mad because you guys were doing great while everyone else sucked, so I'm going to destroy the world. Like, I just feel they could have done a better job with like his whole reasoning for everything that he went through and for everything that he did. And I also, I have mixed emotions. Like, I'm happy when they killed Claw because like that's, like you watch a movie, you're like, quit letting them get away. Just walk up, pull the trigger, and fucking be done with it. Like,
but you can't have the hero do that.
Actually, you can. No, you can.
You can.
You can, and you should.
The Hulk.
I mean, not just the Hulk. I mean, keep in mind, Batman used to carry a gun and shoot people.
True.
Eventually, Batman.
Superman used to toss people off buildings left and right and kill people left and right. I mean, it was a thing, and then somewhere they just stopped.
Well, it's like it goes back to the whole college humor Batman thing where he starts killing everybody, and they're like, "What are they doing? Oh, they're asleep.
They're sleeping."
Yeah. Well,
look at that poor little guy.
He's tuckered out.
He's all tuckered out.
And then, but if you look at Batman versus Superman, Batman killed a lot of people in that movie.
And a lot of people were upset about that.
Which was the dumbest thing ever.
And Batman killed a lot of people on, Tim Burton's Batman. I mean, think of just his climb to his ascent to the top of the clock tower. I mean, how many people did he toss off that fucking thing? And it's not like they got some rappel ropes.
Listen, he tossed them off equipped with parachutes.
Anyway, no, I like the fact that
Spider-Man.
that what's his name they killed Claw just because of it. Because like, well, they caught him. They did, but I hate the fact they killed him because kind of a fun character. Like yeah. I mean, he's kind of Jokerish and just kind of fun.
I kind of wish that he had a cat.
The bad guy from Inspector Gadget.
This is why I wish that he had. That's
exactly.
why I wish that he had a cat.
That would have been funnier. That's why awesome.
I really wish he had a cat.
No, but as far as everything else, like I just kind of wish they would have. Everything felt rushed.
Now he's managed to skate through 3 movies until now.
Well, not him, but I'm back to my original point of like the development. Like, I liked the action, I liked all that stuff, but like some of the stuff, just the storyline felt rushed through, and so did the main bad guys. It just seemed kind of shallow for his reasoning. But aside from that, like I thought everyone did a very good job in their part.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't ask. Like, you couldn't ask for anything better in it, and I mean they even did a fairly decent job showing some turmoil and some things like Wakanda's all great and technologically advanced, but they're still human and they still have their own little internal squabbles and things like that. So I thought that was overall pretty good.
I think it's pretty good too. So one thing that I've always tried to figure out, is where each of the MCU movies, like where they fall into the hierarchy of things. So, like, do I know?
They're kind of their own thing.
Well, no, what I mean by that is, so, like, with almost every single Captain America movie we've gotten so far, it's a world-changing event. Mm-hmm. So, one of the movies is, like, Hydra, and you've got all of the stuff going on with Hydra and, all that business. Then later on, you've got Project Insight and all of the things that are happening with it, and you find out the Hydra's still actually alive and kicking.
Right.
So, it's the fall of Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D., I mean, big world-changing things as far as within the context of the Captain America movies. Okay, all of the Iron Man movies have kind of introduced the stepping stone into the technology of the world and how some of those things operate.
Too bad only the first Iron Man movie was really the only great one.
True, but
the others were were tolerable.
The others still gave us that stair step into you've got his orbital defense system that's supposed to be able to cage Hulk. You've got, the Iron Legion. Like it sets the foundation for those things. Each of them build into that. Thor's movies served as means of bringing out there, the unknown out there to Earth. Mm-hmm. Guardians of the Galaxy brought us out the opposite direction. So we now have, because you've got Peter Quill, who basically acts as common ground for us out there. Mm-hmm. Whereas Thor is the other direction that's bringing it home to us, right?
They should have kept Quill Spartaxian instead of the whole thing with ego, but whatever.
Right. But nevertheless, so each one of these films provide their own thing to the universe itself as far as like how it impacts the remainder of the worlds around it.
Right.
And I was really interested in seeing how, Black Panther was going to fit into that. And for me, what I think, and guys, let me know what you think on this, but I kind of feel like this is kind of taking over for what Iron Man's post was as far as like the technology.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
I think it takes over for the technology, but it also takes in the and gives another connection for Black Panther as to why he's involved. If he's the ruler, why is he involved in the U.S.? Why is he helping the Avengers? Why is he doing that instead of back-rolling his thing?
Now, I was actually
I think they tie in with that. They tie it in with giving him a reason when he's like, "We need to be more involved on the world."
I made this same argument to another person, and they turned around and their response back to me was actually very insightful, and I liked it. It's not the technology that he's bringing to the table. Okay, it's he becomes basically the conscience. He would be the conscience of the group, right?
For killing off.
For that moment where he's standing there and he's getting ready to kill him, and then he doesn't. That kind of business, right? Mm-hmm. So he gets to serve as the moral compass for the actual foundation of the group, is what this is, more than just the technology portion of things.
I could see that, but only in the context that because they did it in the comics when they replaced him or replaced Cap. Like, Cap was gone for a little bit, of course he came back and everything, right. But Cap was always the moral center for the Avengers, and then when he was gone, they had to have someone else to do that, and that was Black Panther,
T'Challa.
So I would assume that, I mean, in that context, I could see them doing that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it's kind of a whole thing. Like, they had to bring him in, they had to give him a reason, they had to give a lot of stuff. The technology, I think, is part of it, and the whole use of vibranium and all the rest of it. But that's just another aspect and just another facet in that same vein.
Right.
But no, I think you're right. I think they could very easily be laying the groundwork, because I mean, there's right now everyone's wondering, are they going to kill Cap, and what's going to happen with that. Everyone thought it was sure. You were sure that he was going to die off in Civil War.
Oh, I was convinced of it.
Yeah, I know. And we talked. I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, they're going to. They have to, because it happened. I'm like, nah, it's a movie.
That's
they can change it to
whatever
they
do whatever they want with it.
And that's what I'd heard the entire time when Civil War was coming out. They're like, they're gonna kill Cap. And I was like, how much money does he bring in?
I mean,
and then they were like, no, like they're gonna kill him.
I mean, here's the thing. Whenever we get ready to have Infinity Wars here in a month, I know it's gonna be great. Anyway, we got that coming up. We're gonna start losing people.
By the way, did anybody else here notice the fact that we now have 2 Human Torches as Avengers?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, one Human Torch is Avenger, the other one is an enemy. Yeah, I thought that was funny. Like, I saw him, I was like,
you don't know what he's talking about, do you?
Mm-mm. All right, so Chris Evans, Captain America,
formerly Human Torch,
was a Human Torch in the first ones. Okay, so Michael Jordan, the enemy for T'Challa in the last one, he was
the Human Torch in the newest Fantastic Four.
The newest abomination called Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the newest. So I never watched the newest Fantastic.
You've never watched it? It's terrible.
Was god awful.
It's terrible.
Well, and that's the thing. I got excited for it because
it was god awful on the Superman versus Batman level.
Oh, no. Well, it was worse.
What?
It was definitely worse.
Dire
Monkey?
It was worse for the movie. It was not worse on the impact, because let's face it, Superman and Batman are far more impactful than the Fantastic Four.
Superman v Batman was watchable. Fantastic Four was complete abortion fire dumpster.
Oh yeah, it was definitely dumpster.
It's bad.
Like,
that's what I'd heard is everybody was just like, I was like, oh man, yes, Fantastic Four. And they were like, don't do it if you value your eyeballs.
It didn't cost me any money to watch it, and I still feel like someone owes me some cash. Like
Hollywood needed to write me a check.
Stan Lee needs to come and apologize to me personally.
That's not them though. That's.
But it is. He approved of it. Did you watch?
I know.
or did you read like his reviews before they released it?
No.
Stan Lee was hyping. He's like, "Oh, well, this is such a great thing," and everyone everyone who complains about the black when they're missing the point and this and that, and like he gives this thing defending it before,
speech, and then
before it
like,
even
no,
starts.
This is still trash.
Yeah, and you watch it, and you're like, well. I feel like I should get to kick you in the nuts now. Like, you should let me come up and kick you in the nuts for telling me this bullshit and then letting me watch this.
I really wish that Marvel would Marvel in Disney, the what it is now, would make a fantastic
I wish they would take all of their Marvel shit back.
All of the
like
things.
all of it.
All of the
all
things.
all of the things. Take
because
back all
Fox
the
keeps sitting
X-Men
over here going, "Ooh, I can redo this one. I got a really good idea for it now." I'm like, no, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
You're fired, Bob. 40 million Deutschmarks. You're fucking fired.
So I went and saw, let's see, what did I go see the other? Oh, I went and saw Red Sparrow.
Yes.
Have you seen Red Sparrow?
I have not. I want to. It
Have you
actually
seen
looks
Red
quite
Sparrow?
good.
I actually watched the trailer for it again today. I want to go see it.
A lot of Jennifer Lawrence boobs in that.
Well, that's always a good
I
thing.
mean, a lot of them.
No, that's
Have you heard of the internet?
Yeah, no, like
Just
at
Google.
one point she's like stripping down completely and like sprawling across a desk with a person standing in front of her to where it's like you can like the only parts that you can't see are covered by his shoulder. And,
Tasteful.
I mean,
Very tasteful.
but she's sitting up here and she's like, "You gonna do this? You gonna fuck me?" And yeah, like it's that there's a bunch of it. But she's in a classroom setting for them to be sparrows, and they're doing this whole, what does he want?
But see, that's here's the crazy thing is like you see her do this movie,
Yeah.
and then you go back and you watch Passengers with her and Chris Pratt.
Oh, I watched that just a couple
I'm
weeks
sorry.
ago.
And
Don't be sorry.
no.
He loves that movie.
I love the movie. For some reason, I have a thing for that movie.
He does. He's rock hard about that movie.
He's got a soft spot in his heart.
I do.
He's rock hard for that movie. They make a tree in the middle of the place, and then it grows into like a.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about.
He's getting all
the most
teary-eyed.
improbable fucking thing I've ever seen. They're like, yeah, he planted a tree. I'm like, oh, he can't get in the command ring, but he can plant a
fucking tree. Yeah, he did, man.
Well, duh.
And then at the end of the movie, they got like a little
No,
fucking.
what I was going to bring up about that
Yay,
is like
space.
is she talked about how uncomfortable she was like doing all the love and the sex scenes with Chris Pratt and all this stuff because he's married and
Well, you got to get used to it somehow.
But she was like it was an uncomfortable situation for me. She goes, I'd never done anything like that on camera before, and I was like, and now she comes out with this movie, and you're like, yeah.
I mean, it's like wow.
So, out of curiosity, since you've seen it,
Yeah.
to me, the previews make it look like Salt meets Black Widow.
That's
Kinda.
literally
That's kind of
Kinda.
what it looks like to me.
Kinda.
that's literally what I went with at first when I first saw the trailer for it. I was like, is this kind of like
Oh,
Salt
and you're
and-
missing one element because she's a prima ballerina, and so it's
Black Swan.
Black Swan,
Black Swan.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that's the one element you're missing. Other than that, yeah, you got it.
I don't know that that's. I mean,
She beats a person down with her cane because they broke her leg as a result of her dancing.
I'm totally on board with that.
all right? Yeah.
Like, I won't give you the circumstances, but she beats the shit out of some people.
And Tanya Harding's like, oh shit.
I mean, yeah. I went and saw I, Tanya, too.
oh God.
I wasn't a fan of I, Tanya.
Whatever.
Did you watch it?
No.
Oh, wow.
It was such a my amount of give a fuck for that is so low it just can't be measured.
The thing is, I went and watched it strictly because I have a movie pass, and so
I thought it was because maybe you were pissed drunk and
No.
like woke up in the theater like, wow, this is
No, I got-
something else is now playing.
basically
all right?
I got there and they're like, "What are you here to see?" And I'm like, "I don't know what's on." They're like, "I don't know." So I clicked my app and I'm like, "Well, this one's on. Like, fucking look, watch it." And I went and saw it. It's not good. I didn't like it. I didn't like how the story was being presented. I don't like how one moment they're like they portray it in such a fashion like she's in an interview, okay, and then other times they're breaking the fourth wall and addressing the audience. If they kept it as an interview, I would have been more okay with it. But they broke away from that several times where it's like, okay,
Works for Modern
we're
Family.
having this conversation like this, and then like I'm turning and addressing the fourth wall, and then going back and doing this again. But then in other scenes, it's like it's actually happening, like as in like a flashback or whatever the case may be. So we'd be interacting as if this is a live moment now, and then that would stop, and I would go back to it in like. You're still there. This instance is still happening. And then I go back to addressing the person I'm having the interview with which is always off screen. You never see them. And then on occasion, you'd stop and address the fourth wall. So they were doing this really weird how they were talking to us kind of thing. And it was very bizarre, and I didn't like it.
Well, see, they took the whole fourth wall thing, I think, from Deadpool and House of Cards. House of Cards, they did the fourth wall break very subtly. Like, you didn't get it all the time. It didn't happen all the time. But when you got it, you were like, oh, man. Like, he's talking to me.
Yeah.
And then, in Deadpool, they had a lot of success with the fourth wall breaks.
Well, because that's what you expect
now
from that.
which House of Cards? The American or British?
Ooh, American.
All right. Because, the American was good. The British one was actually quite good.
See, I haven't seen the British one, but, I mean,
it's
Kevin
also
Spacey.
Right. Right.
I mean,
pedophilia.
I mean, he may be a pervert, but he's a hell of an actor.
the weird things that he did for Hollywood.
Like his on-screen performances are awesome.
Detective!
So,
sorry, I had a 7 moment there.
Shifting gears slightly. Have you started in on any of the new Jessica Jones or any of the other Netflix stuff?
I watched episode 1 last night.
No, I have not.
I have not started.
I'm all caught up on everything else, but not the new Jessica Jones.
So, does anybody have any preconceived notions of where they think it's going to go, or where they hope it goes for any of the?
Not currently. I think that it's going to start building back into where Daredevil left off eventually, because it ends with him clearly being alive and all that good business.
I hope it leads to them killing Iron Fist and recasting.
Probably.
Why does everyone hate him so much?
Because he's a 2x4. He because he
was not that bad.
Have you watched the cartoon show Ed, Ed and Eddie?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember Plank?
He's Plank. He is Plank.
He's Plank. That's who he is.
I'm with him. I actually enjoyed Iron Fist.
Well, you're an idiot. So I mean,
no. Well, I mean, look, there's a lot of things they could have done better, but it's really not as horrible as everyone makes it out. And one thing I am kind of tired about is everyone's like, "Oh God, they're misappropriating the culture because he's white." It's like that's his character.
That's who he's always been.
That's what the character is. You retards.
Time out. That's who he's always been. First off, but I think my issue with him is
at least he doesn't have his shirt open with the freaking green and yellow collar like he's straight out of a 70s discotheque.
And what? No, will you expect Luke Cage to get in a big flowy yellow shirt with silver bracers?
Which they actually did. They do the throwback when he does the flashback to the prison. He's got the headband and the silver gauntlets or whatever. Yeah,
I actually enjoy. I found it entertaining. I liked him.
Yeah, well,
it's funny. Jessica Jones.
Don't get me wrong. I wasn't
low.
Just like, hey, he should do everything forever. But
what's funny, where I was going with the question was all the movies Iron Fist, I have somewhere I would like to see it go. Luke Cage, I absolutely want to see him get more Luke Cage-ish, breaking shit and people and things. There's things I want to see. Jessica Jones, fair. I thoroughly enjoyed the first season.
Oh yeah,
but I really have no I don't really give a shit what happened. I have no preconceived notions or direction that I want them to go with that.
Right.
I want it to be as good as the first.
It's to get it back to Daredevil.
Right. I just want it to be as good as the first season.
My thing is with all those shows, you have Daredevil, you have Jessica Jones, you have the Punisher, you have Luke Cage.
Yeah, Punisher. I want to see that go somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And Jessica Jones, I'm whatever.
Well, all these shows pop up, and I'm just like, hey, can we just already have all of the seasons and know where this is going? Because every time they come out with one and you watch it and you're like, oh, this is where I want it to go. It's going to be 2 years before you find out if that's where it's going.
Well, but some of the stuff is I want it to go back into Defenders because let's bring back Defenders again. Let's do that. There is some of that.
What about the Revengers?
That doesn't have to be the name. That doesn't have to be.
I came up with it.
I just came up with that
as a
that doesn't have to be a thing.
I would watch that movie though.
Oh
yeah,
I saw a picture today. I saw a picture today, and I giggled a little bit too hard at this. Yes, I giggled. It wasn't a laugh. I giggled at this. Okay,
chuckled.
And no, it wasn't even. It was a giggle. Okay, it was. I want to see the next. It said the next Marvel movie I want to see is a recap of Civil War told by this man, and it's a picture of the friend from Ant-Man. So he's over.
Which one? The
Hispanic friend that's constant, the one that's super happy and stoked about fucking everything.
Isn't his name David Pena or whatever?
Yeah.
I forget which
he's
actor
so
it is.
fucking happy all the time. He's like, so check this out. I know this guy.
That's a Netflix episode
Oh my
series.
God, tell me that wouldn't be the best thing ever.
Start a petition. Just send it to Netflix. Be like, make this.
I would totally watch
please.
that. I would watch it all the time.
Make it like a 4-part miniseries.
Oh my God, what is his name?
Or
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena. I said David. Yeah, Michael Pena. So what would be funny is if instead of he was if they had him as episodes doing like reviews, like he's watching the news, they're like, oh, I remember, and like have him review it.
See,
that would be funny.
Okay, it's like the Thor.
Can we put him with Deadpool doing it?
Oh, like they become best friends.
Bad.
Yeah.
He's like, see, I know this guy.
It could be mystery. It could be mystery.
That
Science
shit would
Theater
get like
3000.
an NC-17 rating though.
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
God.
They just be like, we can't show this in theaters. You just need to buy it.
You can download it on HBO.
Yeah, HBO Go.
Oh man, so I've already got my tickets for Ready Player One. I'm very excited about
I'm
this.
excited for that movie.
Are you?
Yeah. Yes,
I
I
am. It
am.
looks a little underwhelming to me.
Shut up. It does not.
I'm also
me?
excited.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone likes first-person shooters, and now it's a movie about first-person shooters.
It's not a movie.
It's not a
It's about the
first-person
book.
shooter.
I know. I haven't read the book.
Oh, well, there's your problem.
There's
I'm
no first-person shooter aspect to the game.
Not at all.
Book at all.
It's-
Not
a
about it.
virtual
Not at all. That's not
world.
what it is.
The
Like at all.
previews make it look like that. The one I saw.
Nope.
Yeah.
No,
it's
just
VR reality, man. That's what it is.
And that's one of the things the reason why I'm so excited about seeing this movie is because this is a possibility.
Oh yeah.
Like this is something that could happen.
I mean, except for like the post-apocalyptic real world that he lives in.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, we're on the right path, and Idiocracy's a movie, and I keep seeing similarities.
It's not a movie. It's a
documentary.
It's
It's a guide. It's Hitchhiker's Guide
It's
to
a
the
fortune
Galaxy.
telling.
Yeah, it is.
It's a prophecy.
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 That's the word I was
It's a
looking for. Prophecy.
Hitchhiker's Guide to 2018.
Let's get some Starbucks. We don't have time for a blowjob.
Wait, what?
Staring at like, what are you talking?
There was biting.
Biting.
Was that Fuddruckers?
Go away, biting.
Fuddruckers?
Fudruckers, Dudbuckers, butt fuckers.
Carl Jr.'s, yo. We get $1 billion every time I say Carl Jr.'s. Carl Jr.'s.
Brought to you by Carl Jr.
I always used, when working at the jail, I always used the put this one in your mouth and this one in your ass. No, wait. It's the other way around.
Oh, wait.
Hold on. And just the blank expression that man had in his face is like, oh, sorry, hold on. And he's over here like calculating, like,
What is it? And then like he's
Okay, now put this one in your mouth.
Yeah, and it like prints over his seat and tells him what's
Put
wrong.
this one in your ear and put this one in your butt.
Yeah.
And then he just grabs the whole wad of cords and just pulls them. And he goes, "Sorry, no."
Shuffles through them like a deck of
Put this
cards.
one in your ear. Put this one in your mouth. Put this one in your butt.
Hey, I'm not supposed to be going into jail today. I'm supposed to be getting
I'm supposed to be
out.
getting-
Dumbass.
What are you?
You're in the wrong
What are you guys
line.
watering the plants with? We Gatorade.
It's
got electrolytes.
It's Brondo.
It's what
It's
what
Brondo.
the plants.
It's what
Electrolyte.
crave.
It's what the plants crave.
Yeah,
But why do the plants crave them?
but it's so bad though.
Like you can see the wrench hitting the gears in that second. Because it's got what plants
electrolytes.
because electrolytes.
Well, that's-
Jesus.
Well,
So
I
watched
hate watching that movie though, and like when they're in court,
Oh,
and
God.
he's just like, "Cause this guy sucks," and then everyone's like, "Yeah." And I'm like,
that guy.
You know, but you know
like-
what's funny? What's funny about that is that's how we got our president.
Oh God. I mean, see, this is
Now, I'll be the first to admit, like, he was not my guy. I didn't like him, but
Yeah.
I think he's actually done better than I expected.
"Oh yeah."
So, but like, essentially, we had a election where it's just two idiots up there. I mean, like,
Well, it was literally, like watching the election happen. Like, I mean, yeah, during the primaries, he wasn't my guy. There were some other Republican candidates that I was looking forward to hopefully getting into the race. But once it became him, like I was on the Trump train the whole time. But it was literally, you're correct. You had one woman who was just like, I can't remember what I did with 30,000 emails or what breakfast is, and I can't walk up a flight of stairs.
And I have no reason why I sold off half our plutonium supply.
Yeah, and then you had-
I don't know anything about this
And then
trail
you
of
had
dead
the
bodies
guy,
behind me.
and then you had the guy who was like, "That bitch sucks,"
Yeah, like that's exactly how it works.
and everyone was like, "Yeah."
And I've a long time said, like, we're kind of to the point where, like, if someone would just, like, walk up and like, as they make their debate and walk up, nuh-uh, you're a lying sack of shit. Like, that person would win. Like, just
Ron White.
say that.
Think back to Ron White's stand-up. He's like, I won every debate in high school. And they would go on this long tirade of debate, and I'd look at him and be like, yeah, well, fuck you. And he goes, they were speechless. I thought I'd won. And I was like, absolutely.
Hands down.
And that
Undefeated.
idiocracy, baby. Now we just need to get some people with some size and get the WWF SmackDown for our presidency.
Pete.
Yeah, that would be presidential medallion.
Going back to movies,
Have you seen The Shape of Water?
no.
I went and watched it too. There's some really awkward masturbation scenes in that movie.
Like scenes that made you want
No.
to go.
Like, okay, so have you seen the trailers for it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got Eliza, who's the mute girl that's in the movie, right? And they show in the trailer like her waking up and hitting her little timer, and then like polishing her shoe, and then she's on the bus, and then she's like, they do that like systematic, like this is her ritual thing, right?
Right.
And they do kind of the same thing in the movie, but they include a section where she's like filling the bathtub, and then there's a section where she sets a timer, and then she's like in the bathtub, and she's got her leg up, and she's like waxing one off, and then this is part of her morning ritual, right? So
They should have Aussie Man reviews going over this.
Oh, man. That'd be great.
So they incorporate this in it. I liked the movie. I did. It wasn't bad. It's just that like that seemed very strangely placed. I guess it was to show like her sexuality towards like just being, and then she ends up making a connection with the monster, which looks strangely like Abe Sapien. And
I'm not much for the interspecies erotica.
She ends up becoming a thing too, because like she ends up with gills at the end of the movie, and then like they're swimming away and such. So
Whatever.
I've never even heard of this movie.
You never heard of The Shape of Water?
No.
It's actually not terrible.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yep. He's the guy that did the Pan's Labyrinth.
Here's a B movie for you that you probably never heard of. Daylight's End.
Never heard of it. Nope.
It's a post-apocalyptic zombie flick. It's got the guy from
Daylight's End.
Sounds actually really familiar.
He plays Leon from the original the first Fast and the Furious.
Johnny Strong.
And he's like, he's just,
It's
my
Frank.
name's Rourke. And it's like, okay, and he like has no speaking parts.
Johnny Strong.
Yeah, he's got almost no speaking parts through the entire movie. You know, he says like 4 words the whole time.
Years after a mysterious plague has devastated the planet and turns most of humanity into blood-hungry creatures, a rogue drifter on a vengeful hunt stumbles across a band of survivors in an abandoned police station and reluctantly agrees to help them defend themselves and escaped to the sanctuary they desperately need.
Like, for the record, it was really late at night when I found this.
Like, it is.
Like, I won't lie.
That's why I didn't stop. I'm like, where's the fucking period?
No, like, seriously. Like, at first, I will admit it was a really late night when I found this movie.
Okay.
And I watched it, and I was, it's kind of like a mix between, when it talks about bloodthirsty creatures.
Right.
It's literally a mix between, Dawn of the Dead, your usual zombie flick, and I Am Legend. They only come out at night.
The movie was also released in interactive virtual reality experience.
Oh, that I did not know. Okay.
All right.
As far as movie, I feel like it's a B movie.
A hard B? You think so?
I do.
B plus, B minus,
like
don't get straight B.
Suicide. One of the plot keywords. One of the plot keywords is suicide. Police station, revenge, grenade, suicide, death. See all 16.
Yeah.
When I'm looking for movies,
I don't know about the suicide.
By the way, that last
thing.
part, that's see all 16. That's not like see all 16 as in like something weird. It's like
no, I don't
see
know.
all 16 tag.
I don't
Tattoo, jail cell, shot in the head, gunshot with silencer, attempted rape, vampire, flashback, blood, jump scare.
I don't know about vampire. I don't know where that came from. It's not like Blade or anything, but. This actually surprisingly, like, watched the movie, and I was like, this is not bad.
By the way, what does everyone think about the Wesley Snipes trying to get Blade going again?
I mean, I'd watch it.
I would so watch it.
Yeah.
I do. I'm on board with that.
I would absolutely watch a Blade 4.
Well, and it was kind of fun. There was a There was a
as long as he's
discussion about it, and they were like, "Well, but he's too old." I'm like, "No, he's not. He's perfect. In fact, they even covered in the very first fucking movie.
As long as he's like chopping
ages.
up, as long
he
as
ages
just,
like everybody else.
Like the plot of Blade 4 needs to be him going into the Twilight universe and just murdering everyone.
No, see what they need to do.
I like it.
What they need.
I like it.
I like where your mind's at. Get that man a corner office. Anyway, so what I think they should do is recast Ghost Rider, not Nicolas Cage, and have that overlap into the Blade universe.
Here's a question: does anyone else think that Nicolas Cage could have done a good Ghost Rider if they would have, I don't know, had a good fucking plot?
Maybe, but I think that part of that was him.
Well, here's the thing: when you
But
can
don't get me
have,
wrong, I don't think he's a bad actor.
No, I just don't think it was him for that.
I think when you can have a better Ghost Rider plot on Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh my goodness!
than what the movies, which are spending millions of dollars more.
Yep.
Well, you don't like him piss and fire?
The whole that actually might have been. That's kind of one of the highlights of it. I mean, that's bad when that's one of your highlights. Like that's one of the better parts. That's funny.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the best part of the movie.
That's what you went with.
That's the best part of the movie right there.
Son of a.
All right. Well, I guess I mean, it's all downhill from here.
Yep.
That's. But the thing is, like, he kind of has the look to have.
True. I'll give you that.
But yeah, none of the movies were good.
No,
none of them. Not a single one of them.
Oh no,
was redeemable.
Not. That's what I mean.
I
remember watching the
Sam
first
Elliott
one.
couldn't even fix it.
No, that's what I remember watching the first one, and I was like, I don't care about this. Yeah. This isn't well made. This isn't, and I was a kid. Yeah. And I was like, I don't like this movie. Like, why are we here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree. I feel like he could have done a great job at the movie.
Who else would you have cast in that?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't know. I don't even have a point of reference to be able to say this guy right here.
Oh man, the guy.
Name what he's from. We've got IMDb right there.
Who played Bane?
He played Bane.
Oh, Hardy.
Really?
Yeah.
Tom Hardy?
Yeah,
no.
Tom Hardy.
No. He's too stout for that.
Too short, too stout, and also not like.
Yeah, very much.
But I can see him as a biker though. That's why.
But he doesn't fit.
Not that biker.
Yeah, he's not that one.
Biker.
No,
not even close.
You need somebody kind of wiry, thin, wiry.
Wiry.
I mean, a little bit.
He's got to be a little bit wiry.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
No, I mean.
There's worse choices.
Clearly, there's worse choices. So the other night, I sat down. I've got a list going.
This is a bit on the nose, but what about Jax, or the guy who played Jax, and King Arthur, and whatever the fuck?
What did you think of that movie?
Okay, Anarchy guy.
Yeah.
Do what?
The Sons of Anarchy guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Was it Charlie?
Charlie Hunnam.
Yep.
Yeah, like he's a good actor.
Speaking
he
of
clearly looks like a biker.
He
can pull off the biker look.
I can buy that.
What did you guys think of him in the movie King Arthur?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I liked it. It was good.
It was not the worst version I've ever seen.
Yeah. I've seen some bad ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen some bad ones. So I said I have a list going.
Why
in
do
my
we
place.
have? Why? Hold on, real quick.
All right,
why does Hollywood struggle so much with making some of a good classic movie like based on classic stories?
I don't know.
We've never had like the Arthur that's possible. We've never had
Excalibur.
Excalibur is actually pretty good.
It's the closest. Excalibur is the closest, but it's still not what could have been done. We also have never had a Hercules that is proper. Like we've never really had.
You didn't like the one with the Rock?
I like The Rock. I did not like that movie.
Yeah, I like Dwayne Johnson, but not that movie.
Yeah, but they have so many great. Like Hollywood's out of ideas. They're remaking every fucking thing. Hey, Hollywood,
look at Ocean's.
Go find some
Ocean's 8.
Oh yeah, I've seen the
I watched that.
Ocean's 8 million. I mean, what the fuck?
Ocean's 8.
They're coming out with.
No, I know.
With women.
Yeah, it's just
women's
women.
cast. It's all women. That's what it is.
Because Ghostbusters
inevitable.
was such a colossal success.
It's inevitable. Did you? That's the other movie I went and saw was Annihilation. Have you seen that?
Annihilation.
Ooh, I watched the trailer for it.
Very pretty. I really liked it. It's got a feel of The Relic. I don't know if you ever saw the movie The Relic.
Oh yeah. Relic was actually pretty good.
There's a monster thing that's in it that kind of leans way to that. It's actually pretty cool. I really liked this movie, and if you pay attention to it, it's really good. It's really good. I liked it a lot.
And that's what I watched the trailer for it the other day, and I was like, oh, this is definitely going to be on my list to watch.
Yes, I was curious about it.
It's pretty good. I liked it. It's smart. I like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's. I'm going to do the bunny quotes. It's science, but you know, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but out of curiosity, how well do they play off like the reason for it being an all female cast?
Pretty well.
Like, how do they explain it? Because here's
Ocean's 8.
No, for the
Annihilation.
Because here's what I'm kind of tired of, and it's this whole thing of like women are just as strong. Women are just they're not.
This was.
If you give me a good reason, I'll believe it.
This was
absolutely.
This was they.
But you got to give me something better than they're just as good.
They have. They keep sending in test groups, and you know no one's come back, and they keep doing this thing.
If it's men are too aggressive and women are only like, I can buy that. But give me a good reason.
They don't. It's not that they keep sending in groups. No one's come back. Finally, a person does come back, and that's how you get your main character involved, and that's why she's
her significant other,
Natalie Portman, and it's her husband,
right?
Okay,
and so she's there because of that, and then you find out that was military, then but she's a scientist, and then of course she's got other people that are scientists that are with them, and they're all there at this location. And that's just what this was.
So basically, she just takes her team into it.
Basically, that's what it is. But they've already got them formed.
But see, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean, and it's put together. It's put together really well, and I really liked it. But that's it's fascinating. I liked it.
Definitely with him on the fact of remaking everything and just being like, oh, it's just
because girls, and that's fine. Yeah. Alex said, sure, why not? But I sat down in the movie theater and went and saw Big Trouble in Little China just because.
Love that movie.
Love that fucking movie. I've got a list going at the house of some old school movies that like I want to own, and
such as.
I'll get to that in just a second. I went to Walmart just the other day and was like, I about shit my pants because they had one of my movies from my list sitting there on a shelf for $5. I'm like,
I love the $5 movie.
It wasn't in the bin. It was on a shelf, and I was like, ooh, well, that's what The Last Starfighter. And I was like, I must own this fucking movie.
So that was
I grabbed the fucking Last Starfighter.
That was actually supposed to get remade, and then somehow the funding fell through.
I don't know how. What a great movie.
I would love to see them do that. And honestly, it would be a much easier thing to do with like the whole like, hey, we're testing to make sure everyone's really good at this before we take you off and use you. Like it would be so much easier to
good movie.
Connect the two.
Love that movie. Like it's a gamer dream to suddenly be like, I've burned all of this time, I've logged all of these hours, and everybody's told me I'm going to waste my effing life, and then I get to be the one to go save the fucking galaxy.
How about real quick, which one of these three are you most excited to see?
Are you kidding me? It's Cobra Khan. Or it's our Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai, The Grinch, or Christopher Robin. Take your pick. Cobra Kai. Mine's Cobra Kai.
Absolutely Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai. Absolutely. There's no, I mean,
it's such a weird.
Now, if you would have put like
those two.
I know, right?
If you would have put like the what was that? What's that superhero movie coming out? It's the
Incredibles.
Yes, if you would have put Incredibles 2 up there, I would
then it's Incredibles 2. Yeah,
it would have been a very difficult choice.
Don't roll your eyes just because you don't like cartoons. I know what you're thinking. So
was
on
your
my
inner
list,
child killed off?
No, he can't watch cartoons. They make him nauseous or something.
Oh, well.
Only one did, but I cannot watch cartoons.
He just doesn't. Why. Like he won't watch Archer.
Yeah.
What?
That's what I said.
What?
No.
Archer's like one of the best programs.
And he doesn't like the animation.
It's.
I know the animation sucks. Don't get me wrong, but it is too funny to give a fuck.
It's the James Bond we've always wanted.
He passes out when he watches it. No, so on my list I've got Enemy Mine because I want to own it.
Yeah,
because Enemy Mine.
Right, it's a good movie. Good flick.
The Last Starfighter, which I've got now. The Last Action Hero.
Ooh,
yeah.
Wow.
I own that.
You son of a! I want that movie.
I got it on tape.
And I don't want it on tape.
Do you want it on VHS?
No, I don't want it on VHS.
Do you even have a VHS player?
No one has a VHS player.
I think I got one in like
you
the
do.
garage.
Maybe. And then The Relic. I want The Relic because I love the movie The Relic.
Yeah.
Just because. Well, those are the four movies I've had on my. I've been thinking of them, I've just scribbled them down.
Kind of surprised you don't have them on your hard drive yet.
I mean, I still want a tangible copy. Shut your dirty mouth.
Some movies you just want copies of.
No,
sometimes.
No, I understand. I'm not.
Like, I won't. So while I was looking at the movies over there, I found it's a different cover for Deadpool of him like riding a unicorn with
that's
like
awesome.
fucking rainbow shooting out of his ass. And I picked it up and I was totally gonna buy it, but it was strictly for the cover, and I was like, I don't need this, so I put it back.
Yes, you do.
Trust me, I had to fight myself to put it back because I totally wanted it strictly for the cover.
You don't need this movie, but I do.
You don't understand. So what was the other
Speaking
movie?
of Deadpool, oh man,
It looks really good.
can't wait for
my
the second
God.
one.
The newest news is it's getting shit on.
Really?
What?
Hardcore, yeah, because Tim Miller is not involved anymore.
Oh.
The test screens coming out are like, this is not Deadpool.
Oh.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, that was on Reddit today, I believe.
Oh, can you imagine the backlash if they came out so strong with the first movie and the second one comes in and it's just garbage?
I mean, it's happened with a lot of other things.
That's true.
You know,
That's fair.
Take Two takes a dump, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess.
Look at Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze.
Ooh. He's pretty on it. He'll thrash your childhood, we promise you. We do that on another show called Spellcast, where we talk about old school movies within the past 10 to 20 years, and that's another thing we've been doing. Just shitting on our childhood.
Just shit on your
Just
childhood.
shitting on our
Oh,
childhood.
you think you had a great one? Just wait.
No, just like what was we've done Short Circuit 2, talked about it.
Loved Short Circuits.
Demolition Man.
Love that movie.
Batman.
Batman, the
89.
1986.
89.
I liked the
89.
I liked the Batman. All the sequels after that were
We did Batteries Not Included.
Yeah.
another great one.
No.
No, it really wasn't. Yeah. We finally agreed that one did not hold up.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but
That's-
I remember loving the shit out of it then.
That's why we've been doing this. Is
Yeah.
we're like, let's pick out some movies that we really hold
that we were
sacred.
just like, man, these were so good
These
as a
were the
kid.
best.
And now you watch them as an adult and you're like, no, you were stupid.
Look at how dumb I was.
The movie that brought this into existence was me and Deus were kicking around and watched.
The Ninja Turtles movie.
No, this was before that. What the Monster Squad?
That's what it was. Monster Squad with classic Hollywood movie monsters.
Oh yeah.
Kick him in the nards.
Okay.
Yeah, with the Frankenstein
no.
and
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's Monster Squad.
It is shitty.
It was really never that great to me. Like I remember thinking it was mildly funny, but like I was never really a huge
the
fan
jokes,
of it.
I thought it was funny as hell.
Yeah.
It's my
Oh,
sense of
yeah,
humor,
no, when I was a
but
kid, I was
it does
just
not
laughing.
hold up at all.
So
I mean,
okay.
The Labyrinth was funny as hell.
Oh, yeah.
That's one to add to the list.
Yeah. So we actually the one we were getting ready to do was Cool Running. We were going to talk about that today.
Everyone.
Well, that you should have done that prior to the Olympics.
The thing is, we haven't had. We haven't been
That
in the
was the
studio.
plan.
That was the plan, and then everything fell apart.
We should have put the plan into effect earlier.
We tried. We've definitely tried. But that's what we've been doing is we've been going through and raking over movies and stuff like that. But I've been going back and watching all kinds of movies at the theater. I went and saw The Greatest Showman.
That's a good.
It was excellent. I liked it, even being a musical, and I'm not big on musicals. It was good, really good actually.
Better Off Dead's another old one you should go back and watch.
You think so?
It's funny as shit. I
You
still
think so?
love that.
What about Drop Dead Fred? Can we do Drop Dead Fred?
Yes, we can.
Oh my god, I want to do Drop Dead
you
Fred
did
now.
you ever watch Better Off Dead?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gee, Ricky, I'm sorry your mom blew up.
Oh god.
You got the two Asian guys that pull up in the station wagon with the speakers on top, and the guy talks like Howard Cosell.
I don't know why that reminds me of. It always the last. As soon as you said that, it made me think of a couple of days ago. 3 days running now, I have managed to cite the movie Trains, Planes, and Automobiles.
Wonderful movie.
Wonderful, great movie.
Timeless.
See, those are the things. Like we went back and while we were watching Short Circuit, we got talking about how he's like wheeling himself through the city, looking around, going megabytes of data, and we're over here like giggling to ourselves because megabytes of data.
That was a thing back then.
I know.
That was like I went back and when the last James Bond movie came out, Spectre. I went back and watched some of the older ones, and you've got GoldenEye, and he pulls out the floppy disk, and he's like, everything in the world. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
You're full of shit.
Like, nice, bud. I've got 2 terabytes.
Oh my god. See, but those are the things we're looking at, right? We're thinking about dated information here, and that's interesting. Oh, we did Beetlejuice.
Oh, that was 3 times.
I still like that movie.
It was good.
I still think it's funny.
It held up. By the end, we held that one up. Yeah,
I love that movie.
I really, really wanted to do Ernest Scared Stupid.
All the Ernest movies are just are extremely funny.
Because Ernest Scared Stupid is the best of them, though.
Ernest
That was my
Goes to
favorite.
Jail was my favorite.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gee, that's
Are you gonna do
what's that say about you?
What does that say about you?
Are you gonna
I'm
do
wishing
any
for
of the-
magic trolls that like snot all over everything.
You gonna start doing all the Pauly Shore movies too?
No, I mean not all of them.
All 5
Wait,
of them.
he's not wanting to commit suicide.
I mean, God,
Wait, who can name all 5 Pauly Shore movies?
damn.
Who gives a
No.
fuck?
This is the one talent I have.
Wait. Okay, go. You got the floor.
Jury Duty.
Yes.
Son-in-Law.
Yes.
Encino Man.
Yes.
In the Army Now.
Okay.
Biodome.
Damn it.
I forgot about Biodome.
How did you forget about
Man.
Biodome?
That's Bill and Ted 3.
Diobone.
Diobone. How did you forget about that? That's
Well,
like,
usually
that's
when-
the one that was at the top of my list.
That's Bill and Ted
Encino
3.
Man. Was,
That's in Bill and Ted 3.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is anytime anybody ever brings up Pauly Shore, the only 2 that I ever think of are Son-in-Law and In the Army Now.
Really?
Those are my.
See, I always think of Encino Man and Son-in-Law.
I always think of Son-in-law and In the Army.
Mine
Now,
is always Biodome and Son-in-Law. I don't. It's
because one time
Funny
somebody
thing is,
had said
Son-in-Law
So wait,
seems to be the same.
between the 3 of us. We almost got all of them, and with him, he's got all of them. That's not a good talent.
Encino Man was actually like Brendan Fraser's big start, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean technically.
I mean, like he'd had a couple movies before, but like that was the first like big successful movie.
Yeah. Ish.
Scary. That
Yeah,
it's
ish.
successful.
Ish.
Ish. I mean, I mean, if you ask him now, he'd probably just be like, "I wasn't in that."
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I've already spent the money. You can't get it back.
no, that wasn't me.
Wonder if it holds up. It's
I'm
very
not.
90s.
I mean, very 90s. Very, very 90s. I'm just looking. Like I said, I'm looking forward to Ready Player One. I'm looking forward to Infinity Wars.
Absolutely.
I really, really want to see the movie Little Bitches. I really want to see that movie.
Well,
Have you watched my trailer reaction for that?
No, but it's,
Oh my god,
I want to see Blockers.
Blockers looks hilarious.
Blockers.
This is the one
It's the
where
one with
they're watching their kids text or whatever, and he's just like, "It's a
they're
sex pack."
They're sexting. They're doing a sex pack.
Like, what
I
is
haven't
that?
seen
Seriously, you haven't seen? Oh my
Oh,
god.
man, it looks so. It's got John Cena in it.
Yeah, it does. He's one of the dads.
Yeah, it
Like
looks
he's overprotective. Like as soon as I
Cena.
And, like-
seriously, I watched. As soon as I watched it, I was like, "That is Justin in this movie. That is who you would be." I'm convinced of it. You'll have
Like,
to watch
it
this
was-
It'd
trailer.
be John Cena.
Oh, it was.
Oh, you'd be John Cena.
So
You'd
it-
absolutely be
The
John
daughter,
Cena.
I guess the daughter leaves like her MacBook at home, and
it's-
it's all logged in so they can see her text messages.
And so
literally,
while she's sitting over here
they're
texting,
sitting, and they're texting in the limo, and they're trying to figure out what the emojis mean.
Oh shit!
And what's it? It's like this thing means yes, queen, or whatever. And they're like what does the eggplant mean? Like, oh, that's for dicks.
that's for it's for
And
dick.
he's like,
oh my
no-
god, they're making a sex pack.
No, he's like, no, they're not. He goes, and then John Cena's like, no, they're not. Maybe like the okay.
It's okay.
And the figure's
You're
like,
okay.
you say,
You're okay with me. You're okay with me.
And they're like, no, he's like, it's a sex pack. And then the next thing is like hashtag sex pack 2018. And they're like, we're gonna.
That's
cock
why it's
block.
called blockers.
And the mom gets up and she goes, let's cock block those motherfuckers.
That's
And
awesome.
I'm like, yes, that's gonna be hilarious.
See, okay, so there's a Netflix movie that's coming out that I desperately want to see as well. It looks fucking hilarious.
Which is
what is it fucking called? It's what's the line from Hudson in Aliens? Game over, man. Game over, man. That's what it's called.
game over, man.
And as soon as I read the thing for it, I was like, okay, yeah, it's game over, man. Like, I really hope that this is like to do with it. It has nothing to do with it. Oh. And it's got Adam Devine, and he's a busboy. I'm assuming is what he's supposed to be. He's a busboy. Anyway, they have terrorists that have taken over the building. It looks fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
He's
I've
so
seen it. It looks
emotional
funny.
while he's singing the song.
It's like Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, except better.
Yeah, kind of. Although there were some boobs in that, so that wasn't bad. Oh, so we're actually well over time at this point. I appreciate you coming in and chatting with us.
Absolutely.
You going to be back on?
Oh, yes.
So
anytime you want me.
We've lined this up to where, like, these weekends, the way we've got this alternating, where it's like this Sunday, then the next Sunday, and so on and so on. Every other Sunday is whenever we come in and record, and it's lined up nicely that he's available.
Yep.
So you might hear.
I'm literally off every other Sunday, and
Mr. Pavel.
Hopefully, once
Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff.
Yes. No. Hopefully, as soon as April comes in and I actually get my promotion, and then coming in July, we're trying to do a couple of things at the department, and it could be the way where I have every weekend off, which is like the unicorn schedule in law enforcement.
El Sargento.
Yeah.
It is?
No, it's not.
I've had it for
not
like the last 3 years.
I worked overnight weekends the entire time I was over Green County.
I've worked overnights my entire career, and actually, even with this new schedule, I will work overnights.
Hey, there you go. And
overnights is the best place to be.
Oh, absolutely!
It's the highest concentration of the kind of people that really deserve our attention.
But my thing is like
it's the best hunting time.
It is.
Everyone talks about overnights, and they're just like, man, like I hate it, and I'm like
why?
You watch movies, I go to work.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Like, you watch reality television, I live it.
Everybody's like, did you watch the news? Hell no, I didn't watch the damn news. I live the damn news.
Yeah.
You going to be back on with us in the future at some point in time? Probably have you in for Infinity Wars if you want to.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, I'll always have Dire Monkey at my side.
Always.
And then we're actually making some discussion over at Alamo Drafthouse to where we might record over there in the future.
Ooh, that would be great.
That could be cool.
So we're going to talk to them. Cool. I'm actually in conversations with people over there about making that a reality. I'm working it out with Mr. Dire Monkey over here to where we might start recording over there at their facility. You might actually have some crowd participation.
Oh, that would be awesome.
We might
love that.
Might actually have that as a thing. So we're working on it. I'm doing the talks. So we will see where that goes.
Break all the nudity laws.
It's going to be fantastic. Anyhow, we will see you all in the next episode. Until then, you guys have a safe night. Bye.
There were no wolves in this movie. 1 star.